You hear it everywhere, don't you? The headlines, the chatter online, AI is coming for your job. It's this big, scary idea that robots are just going to take over everything.
Right, this narrative of mass unemployment.
Exactly. But, when you actually dig into it, the reality seems, well, a lot more complex, maybe even surprising.
That's absolutely right. And that's our mission today, really, to get beyond that simplistic robots taking our jobs story.
Okay.
We're doing a deep dive into how work is being fundamentally transformed. Yes, automation is part of it, definitely. But there's also augmentation AI as a partner, essentially.
Augmentation, I like that.
And crucially, the creation of completely new jobs, roles we couldn't have imagined just a few years ago. So the goal here is to give you, our listener, a solid evidence-based view of what's happening and, importantly, how you can navigate it.
And just to give a taste of that complexity right away, let's look at some data from PwC's 2025 Global AI Jobs Barometer. It's kind of counterintuitive. You'd think industries heavily exposed to AI would be losing jobs, right? But nope. These sectors actually saw job growth of 38% between 2019 and 2024.
38%. Wow.
Yeah, a huge jump. And get this. Productivity growth in those same industries nearly quadrupled since 2022. Plus, if you have AI-related skills, you're looking at a 56% wage premium.
Okay, so it's clearly not just doom and gloom. It's disruption, yes, but also massive opportunity.
Exactly. Disruption and opportunity, side by side.
And what's really key to understand is that AI isn't just, a slightly better tool. It's what economists call a general-purpose technology.
Like electricity or the internet. Something that changes everything.
Precisely. It has the potential to reconfigure entire industries, top to bottom. It's not just incremental improvement. And the economic potential is, well, staggering.
How staggering are we talking?
McKinsey Global Institute estimates generative AI alone could add something like $2.6 trillion to $4.4 trillion in value annually to the global economy, mostly through productivity boosts.
Trillions annually. That's a lot. Is that just a forecast, or is it happening now?
Oh, it's definitely happening now. That PwC data you mentioned confirms it. Productivity growth in AI-exposed industries jumped from around 7% between 2018 and 2022 to nearly 27% if you extend that to 2024.
So a huge acceleration right when generative AI really took off.
Exactly. And this is creating what some are calling a two-speed economy. The sectors integrating AI are pulling away fast. They're seeing roughly 3 times higher revenue per employee growth compared to others.
3 times higher. That really drives home the point. If your sector isn't adapting, you could get left behind. Okay, so if it's not a total job apocalypse, what is happening in the labor market?
The World Economic Forum calls it significant churn. It's not a collapse, it's a reshuffling.
Churn, meaning jobs changing, disappearing, appearing.
Precisely. One WEF projection suggested a net loss of maybe 14 million jobs globally by 2027. That's 69 million new ones created, but 83 million eliminated.
Okay, so still a net loss there.
In that projection, yes. But another WEF analysis, looking towards 2030, projected a small net gain of 2 million jobs, 11 million created, 9 million displaced. The exact numbers might vary, but the core message is consistent. Massive churn.
And that churn isn't random, is it? There are clear winners and losers in terms of job roles.
Absolutely. The WEF's 2024 Future of Jobs survey lays it out pretty clearly. Fastest growing. No surprise, AI and machine learning specialists are right at the top.
Makes sense.
But also sustainability specialists, business intelligence analysts, data analysts and scientists, fintech engineers, roles demanding tech skills, data analysis, and understanding complex systems.
Okay, a definite tech and data focus. What about the jobs that are declining fastest?
Well, it's largely the roles we've expected for a while. Data entry clerks, administrative and executive secretaries, accounting and payroll clerks, cashiers, assembly workers.
The routine, predictable tasks.
Exactly. Tasks that are relatively easy to automate. It really starkly shows that divide between routine work and complex analytical work.
Which brings us to a really crucial and maybe worrying point: inequality. The WEF flags this as a major risk. How is AI feeding into that?
Primarily through what's called skill polarization. AI seems to be hollowing out the middle skill jobs.
Hollowing out the middle.
Yeah, demand surges for high-skill tech roles, while many lower-skill routine jobs get automated. This can stretch the income gap, leaving fewer pathways for those in the middle.
And then there's the whole productivity versus pay thing, right? Companies get more efficient, but wages don't always keep up.
That's a trend AI is definitely accelerating. Productivity gains are outpacing wage growth for many workers. The benefits often flow upwards to senior management or to capital owners. not necessarily to the employees doing the augmented work.
And there's that paradox Deloitte found. AI increases workload and potential burnout for many.
Exactly. It's wild. 77% of employees say AI increased their workload, and 61% expect more burnout. AI takes the routine stuff, sure, but it often leaves humans with a higher concentration of the complex, stressful, demanding tasks.
So more productive, maybe, but also potentially more stressed and not seeing the financial reward. That sounds problematic.
It's a huge management challenge. How do you share the gains fairly? How do you redesign jobs so they're sustainable? And this impact isn't spread evenly across the population either.
Right, the demographic impacts. Who's
Yeah.
most affected?
McKinsey research in the U.S. found Black workers are disproportionately in jobs at high risk of automation, about 24%, versus 20% for white workers.
Mm.
And the ILO found that in high-income countries, women's jobs might be more susceptible. Around 7.8% of roles typically held by women could be automated, compared to about 2.9% for men. So AI could worsen existing inequalities if we're not careful.
But here's a twist.
Yeah.
One study suggested workers with bachelor's degrees might actually face more exposure to AI automation than those with just a high school degree, like 5 times more.
Exactly. That really flips the script, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It shows AI isn't just about automating manual labor. It's significantly impacting knowledge work, too. It affects everyone.
Okay, so the landscape is shifting dramatically. But new roles are emerging too. You mentioned that WEF framework. Trainers, explainers, and sustainers.
Yes, it's a helpful way to think about the new kinds of work AI is creating. The trainers are the builders.
The ones actually creating the AI?
Right. Machine learning engineers, obviously, but also the electrical engineers designing the specialized chips, the systems administrators keeping the infrastructure running, they're teaching the machines, refining the models.
Got it. And the explainers, they sound like translators.
That's a great way to put it. They bridge the gap between the complex AI and the human users. Think UX designers making AI tools intuitive, or maybe specialists creating personalized AI tutors. They make AI accessible.
And the sustainers, keeping it all running smoothly and ethically.
Exactly. These are the people ensuring AI is used effectively and responsibly in the real world. Your prompt engineers, data curators who manage the information AI learns from, and critically, AI ethics and governance specialists.
It's interesting that these roles, sustainers especially, exist because AI isn't perfect, right?
Right.
We need prompt engineers because AI doesn't always get what we mean.
You nailed it. If large language models perfectly understood us, prompt engineers wouldn't be needed. If AI was inherently fair, we wouldn't need ethics officers. These roles address the gaps and challenges AI itself creates.
And these roles often seem to blend different skills, not purely technical.
Absolutely. Take the AI prompt engineer. Yes, they need technical chops, Python, understanding neural networks, NLP, but they also need to be expert communicators, almost wordsmiths, to translate human intent effectively. They work with data scientists, product managers, marketing.
Kind of like AI whisperers.
Yeah, something like that. Then you have the AI ethics officer. They need to understand the tech, but also have a deep background in ethics, philosophy, law, social science. They work with developers, legal teams, leadership to ensure responsible AI deployment.
Making sure the AI does the right thing, basically.
In a nutshell. And then there's the MLOs engineer machine learning operations.
Sounds very technical. What's their role?
They're the crucial link to make sure the brilliant models data scientists create actually work reliably in the real world, at scale. They build and maintain the infrastructure for deploying, monitoring, and managing ML models in production.
So they need serious engineering skills.
Definitely. Python, Bash, cloud platforms like AWS SageMaker or Google's Vertex AI, CI/CD tools, Docker, Kubernetes, monitoring tools. They work closely with data scientists, data engineers, DevOps folks. They keep the AI engine running smoothly.
So beyond these brand new roles, there's this huge trend of AI augmenting existing jobs, right? Becoming a partner.
Exactly. This augmentation model is probably how most people will experience AI in their work. AI handles the scale, the speed, the data crunching, while humans provide the judgment, the context, the oversight, the strategic thinking.
But you mentioned it's not always a seamless partnership, these silent impacts.
Right. It's important to acknowledge the downsides. As AI handles routine parts of a job, humans can be left with a higher concentration of the really difficult, stressful, ambiguous tasks.
Which could lead to burnout, like that Deloitte data showed.
Precisely. Increased workloads, more pressure, sometimes less autonomy if the AI dictates the workflow, and potentially less on-the-job learning for junior staff because the simpler tasks they use to cut their teeth on are now automated. It needs careful management.
Okay, so let's make this concrete. Can we look at some case studies? How is this augmentation playing out in, say, healthcare.
Healthcare is a great example. Doctors are using AI for diagnostics like a superpowered second opinion. Stanford developed an AI that matches dermatologists in spotting skin cancer from images.
Wow.
Mayo Clinic uses AI on EKG data to find silent heart conditions. Johns Hopkins has TRGBS, an AI that detects early signs of sepsis by monitoring patient data constantly. It catches things humans might miss.
So better earlier detection. What else in medicine?
Big gains in administration. You have these ambient listening tools. Now, AI listens to a doctor-patient chat and generates the clinical notes automatically. Saves doctors hours of paperwork.
That alone sounds revolutionary for doctors.
It really is. And AI is also speeding up drug discovery, screening millions of potential compounds way faster than humans ever could.
Okay, healthcare is transforming. What about finance, an industry built on data?
Finance is adopting AI rapidly. Microsoft's own finance team uses internal tools like Replay AI that let them query huge databases using natural language. Ask a question, get an answer, summarize documents instantly. They call it magic.
I can imagine faster insights. What about risk?
Big improvements there, too. MasterCard used generative AI to boost detection of compromised cards and drastically cut down on false alarms, those annoying times your card gets blocked wrongly.
That's a win-win?
Absolutely. And AI is used for stress testing portfolios with synthetic data, optimizing investment strategies based on market sentiment. One firm reported a 35% performance boost after integrating AI analysis.
Okay, finance is clearly leveraging AI's analytical power, but what about fields we think of as purely human, creative industries?
Even there, AI is becoming a collaborator, even a new medium. You have artists like Refik Anadol using AI to create stunning data-driven installations. And remember that AI-generated painting, Portrait of Edmond de Bellamy, sold for over $400,000 at Christie's.
Right, generated by an algorithm. It's mind-bending. What about music or writing?
AI composers like AIVA create original music scores. Large language models are helping writers brainstorm plots, break through writer's block, even draft sections of text.
So the AI handles some of the grunt work, freeing up the human creator.
Exactly. It lets the human focus on the higher-level strategy, the unique voice, the core creative vision. Across all these fields, healthcare, finance, creative arts, the pattern is similar. Professional value is shifting.
Shifting up the abstraction ladder, as you put it.
Right. Less about rote execution, more about orchestration, judgment, communication, strategy. Working with the AI effectively.
Which logically leads to the skills needed for this new era. If the work is changing, the skills must change too.
Absolutely. We're seeing a massive, great skill shift. Demand for advanced tech skills is projected to jump over 25% by 2030. But here's the fascinating part.
A paradox.
Yes, the augmentation skill paradox. Because AI is handling more routine cognitive tasks, the value of uniquely human skills is actually increasing. Demand for social and emotional skills, think leadership, collaboration, empathy, is set to rise over 10%.
So tech skills are vital, but human skills become even more valuable because of the tech.
Precisely. The OECD found that skills like originality, creativity, management ability, understanding business processes, and collaboration are seeing the biggest demand increase in jobs exposed to AI. Machines can't easily replicate those.
Okay, so how should people think about building their skills? You mentioned a two-track strategy.
Yeah, it's a useful way to frame it. Track one is for the AI creators, the people building these systems. That requires a deep technical toolkit.
Like what specifically?
Strong Python skills are fundamental, often Java or C++. A deep grasp of machine learning, deep learning, the math behind it all. You need to understand how the AI works.
And you mentioned earlier there's a significant wage premium. Are there specific technical skills that are particularly lucrative right now?
Oh, definitely. If you specialize, the rewards can be substantial. Expertise in recommendation systems, for example, has a median salary around $195,000.
Wow.
Natural language understanding, NLU, that's around $188,600. And skills in SEO, NVIDIA's platform for GPU computing essential for AI, command about $187,500 median. These are highly specialized, high-demand areas.
Okay, that's track one, the deep tech path. What about track two for the rest of us, the AI collaborators?
This is for the vast majority of professionals. Here, the focus is on the human-centric toolkit. Higher cognitive skills are key. Critical thinking, creativity, analytical reasoning, complex problem solving. You need to evaluate AI output, integrate it, strategize around it.
And those social and emotional skills you mentioned.
Crucial. Leadership, communication, collaboration, emotional intelligence. These are vital for teamwork, managing projects involving AI, client relationships. things machines struggle with.
What about basic AI understanding? Like, do I need to learn to code if I'm not on track one?
Not necessarily code deeply, but AI literacy is essential. Understanding basic AI concepts, knowing how to use common tools like ChatGPT or Gemini effectively, basic data literacy, and awareness of ethical considerations. You need to be an informed user and collaborator.
This shift towards skills seems reflected in hiring too. That PwC data about degrees being less emphasized.
That's a huge indicator. Employers are focusing more on what you can do rather than just formal credentials. The percentage of AI-exposed jobs requiring a degree dropped significantly between 2019 and 2024.
Why the shift away from degrees?
Well, partly it's the collapsing half-life of skills. Things change so fast, especially in AI skills, reportedly change 66% faster now. A degree from 4 years ago might not cover today's cutting edge.
So skills expire faster now.
In a way, yes. The specific tools and techniques evolve rapidly. This makes continuous lifelong learning absolutely essential. It's not just a nice-to-have anymore. It's a necessity for career survival and growth. The most important skill might be the ability to learn quickly and adapt constantly.
Okay, so lifelong learning is the mantra. How do people actually navigate this? Making a career pivot in this environment sounds daunting.
It can be, definitely, but we see patterns in successful pivots. It's often about being proactive, focusing on how AI can enable better work, and crucially, getting hands-on experience.
Can you give an example?
Sure. We saw a product designer start experimenting with AI tools for research, then integrated them into their workflow and eventually used AI tools to prototype and launch their own small product, even without a coding background.
So learning by doing.
Exactly. Another example was a software engineer who just started tracking new AI models, playing with them, understanding their capabilities, and became the go-to person on their team. It's about actively using the technology to solve real problems.
But it doesn't always work out right. There are pitfalls.
Absolutely. There's the cautionary tale of Kato Mwanga. He was a consultant, did a lot of upskilling, got certifications, but his role, while complex, was ultimately procedural enough that an AI-driven platform replaced it.
Ouch. So the lesson there is,
Don't just upskill into complexity that's still fundamentally procedural. Focus on developing uniquely human skills. Judgment, strategic thinking, creativity, relationship building. Those are much harder to automate.
and people face real challenges making these shifts, feeling overwhelmed, imposter syndrome, frustrating job searches.
Totally. It's tough.
Right.
Recognizing those feelings is important. The path often involves deep self-assessment. What are my core strengths? What do I enjoy?
Yeah.
Building a portfolio of actual projects or contributions is key. And networking, connecting with others in the field, is invaluable.
It seems like career advice itself needs to change. Less about static job titles, more about adaptable skills.
Precisely. Career coaches are now focusing on helping people build these dynamic skill portfolios. The key question for you isn't, will AI take my job? It's, how will AI change my job? And what skills do I need to work with it effectively?
And coaches themselves are using AI now, too.
Yes, it's a great example of augmentation. They use AI for things like resume tailoring or market research, freeing them up to provide that high-value, strategic human guidance.
So, for someone listening who wants to start this journey, where do they begin? How do they build this learning pathway?
We like the idea of an adaptability loop. Learn something new, immediately direct. Apply it in a small project. Share your work or findings to get feedback, and then use that feedback to guide your next learning step. It's a continuous cycle.
And there are resources tailored for different needs.
Loads. For general AI collaboration skills, things like IBM's Prompt Engineering Basics or Google's Data Analytics Certificate are great starting points, plus hands-on practice. For leaders, Coursera's AI for Everyone, or Penn's AI for Business specialization.
Okay, and for those aiming for the more technical track.
For aspiring data scientists, Stanford's machine learning course online is legendary, or the deep learning specialization from deeplearning.ai. For engineers, IBM has AI engineering certificates. Microsoft has Azure AI certifications. There are pathways for whatever direction you want to go.
So, wrapping this up, the big picture isn't a workless future. It's a future of profound work transformation.
Absolutely. It's a complex, dynamic picture, this two-speed economy, the rise of human-machine partnerships. It requires adaptation from everyone.
And the skills message is clear. Yes, tech skills matter immensely, but those uniquely human capabilities, creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence are becoming even more valuable differentiators. Lifelong learning isn't optional.
And remember, while technology shapes possibilities, it doesn't dictate destiny. Research consistently shows that human agency, your belief and proactivity in shaping your own path, is incredibly powerful.
It's about embracing AI as a tool, honing your human edge, and learning constantly.
Exactly. The people who thrive will be those who see AI not as a replacement, but as an amplifier for human ingenuity.
So, the final question for everyone listening is, what will you do next to shape your destiny in this AI era?